In this video, we're going to talk about how you can use isometrics to strengthen your joints. My name is Mike Kohler, and I've been a fitness trainer and gym owner for over 25 years. In this video, let's talk about how you can use isometrics, specifically at the end range of a concentric contraction to actually strengthen your joints. There's a lot of great science behind isometrics. One of the big benefits of isometrics is that it really is great for positional strength. If you have positional weakness, specifically at the end range of motion, I don't think there's a better thing you can do than to do an isometric contraction at the end range. Let me explain to you how this works. You have to know a little bit about muscular anatomy. Let's say we want to strengthen the shoulder, okay, at the end range of motion when the pectoral is fully contracted, okay? So your pec attaches to your sternum, then it runs into your clavicle, and attaches to that, your humerus kind of on the outside. So it does this action called horizontal adduction with internal rotation. So I would internally rotate your arm and bring it across your body. Now to do an isometric contraction, you can just push into the opposite hand, maybe about 50% effort, maybe even less, or maybe a little bit more, hold it about 5 or 10 seconds. What that's doing is giving you positional strength at the end range of motion. How muscles work like rubber bands. When you elongate a muscle, it has great proprioceptive communication with your central nervous system. It's just dying to snap right back. For example, if you're doing a deep fly, the pectoral wants to snap back. If you're doing a stiff leg deadlift with you, elongating your hamstrings, essentially it wants to come, they want to shorten, it wants to snap back. But as a muscle contracts, especially toward the end range, it can get a little inhibited, like the central nervous system, those intrafusal fibers in the muscle spindles that are constantly communicating with your brain. It can get a little bit sluggish when it's fully contracted. So if you're only doing eccentric and concentric training, for example, if you're only staying in that fully contracted state for a millisecond, you're not really giving your central nervous system enough time to recognize that position, wire it, make sure there's good communication, and actually strengthen it. You can be incredibly strong concentrically, eccentrically in all those mid ranges, but when it comes to really fully contracting a particular muscle, you may not have good proprioceptive communication at the end range, and these isometrics techniques are such a great way to strengthen the end range. I think, in my opinion, it's going to stabilize the joint, it's going to strengthen the joint. For example, by doing this pec internal rotation, pec isometric, I think it's going to improve your bench press, especially if you may have some shoulder issues. It could possibly be that your shoulder is not strong at the end range of motion. Okay, now let's pick another body part, give another example. Let's say we're going after shoulder flexion. You want to really work on flexing your shoulder really well. You want a good range of motion, you want good stability at the end range of shoulder flexion. Let's go after serratus anterior. That's one of the main muscles. It attaches to your rib cage here. It wraps around, attaches to that anterior surface of your scapula to the medial border. So to do an isometric contractions for serratus anterior, you would flex your shoulder all the way up, right? And then you would push into your opposite hand and hold this for about 5 or 10 seconds, keep the elbow locked. I would do this 5 or 6 times. Great way to strengthen and stabilize shoulder flexion at the end range of motion. Give these techniques a try. They can be a little difficult in that you have to know the origin, insertion of certain muscles. You have to know anatomy a little bit, but buy just a basic anatomy book, look it up, and kind of experiment, and I'm sure you're really going to enjoy it. A lot of the thought processes I got to make this video came from a lot of courses I've taken on muscle activation technique. Check that out too if you're interested in these isometric techniques. Well, take care, everyone, and I hope everyone's having a great day, and drop me an email if you have any questions. So long.